Hello, good morning from Edithburgh. Day 3. We're getting ready to go. It was a pretty choppy night, just the boat was swaying all night. We've got some coffee on. I'm going to try coffee today. It's going to be a long sail today. The water's just lapping all morning. It's going to be a long sail today. It's going to be a 10-hour sail. So we've only done 2 short 5-hour ones. So we'll see how we go, but then we'll be in West Cape and we'll be around the peninsula. So hopefully we'll be protected from the winds a little better. We'll see how we go. The good news is that he's bloody closed the bimini. The mooring boy held up overnight, so we haven't moved. Neither of us really had a good night's sleep, but hopefully when we get into West Cape we'll have a couple of days there, so we'll see how we go. More boats, civilization.
Staying along the Yorke Peninsula, we were heading south from Edithburgh, 53 nautical miles, tickling the foot as we went until we came around the toe to make it to West Cape. We were expecting it to be about a 10-hour sail.
And we're off.
And we are off. So what's going on, Danielle? What are you up to?
I'm having my first sip of coffee in 3 days.
Jesus.
It's been rough. I've been having afternoon snoozes. It's been crashing so hard.
How's the shaking going?
Oh shit. That is fresh. on Dojo and you were around here.
Next year I'll slow it down.
Shared space, but also your shirts will stink.
The only reason I think I'm going to continue doing this way, I think, is that I'm present with my kids and my wife.
With the sun out and a few hours of podcasts, we were soon enough for making our way around the tip into West Cape. We're anchoring for the first time and we're excited to be able to get off the boat and have a look around.
Yeah?
You send it down.
Okay.
I'll bring attention up there.
Just go down?
Bit more. How is it?
Delicious. Leftovers of chicken rice. Look at this view. We're in West Cape. We're going to be here for a couple of nights to wait for the crazy weather to pass tomorrow.
First time.
Oh, for God's sake. Drive me nuts. Alright.
Mexicano.
I haven't cooked a new recipe for Tyler in many a moon. Spoiled boy! Hello, good morning. This is our second full day here at West Cape. It is a gloomy and cold morning. We're hoping to get out on the tender today and go along the beach and go for a bit of a hike up there to that lighthouse. But mostly we were hoping that the sun would be out so that it would charge the solar panels. We're only down to 9% battery on the boat. So we've turned the fridge off. We might have to run the motor to generate some power. Lucky the stove works off gas, so I can make a coffee this morning without being worried. See what today brings. Alright, what are you trying to do, mate?
Need to work out the voltage on trying to work out the connector. Cool, so that's working. So this I believe I have connected to.
So explain our battery situation.
So we've got house batteries. Hello, we've got house batteries and starter battery, 600 amp hours, but we've got no sun at the moment, and my backup is battery charging from the starter battery while we're running, the engine, so that the house batteries can charge up the alternator without damaging the starter battery. However, this needs to be the correct wire to do that, which means essentially we need to make sure this is only live when the ignition is turned on, which I found like when I was searching quite some time ago that it was always live. So that's what I'm trying to figure out now.
The gloomy sky was telling us something. The day did not get better, and it was in fact one of the worst days that we've had since we left.
So let's talk about West Cape.
West Cape, bum, bum, bum.
Bom, bom, bom.
Yeah, so we got in there and we knew that we were going to have to stay there for a few days.
Mm-hmm.
And we knew the weather was coming in. And being summer in Australia, I thought that over those 3 days that we'd get at least a little bit of sun.
And we didn't. So it was nice to get in because we've been sailing for 3 days straight. And it was nice to have a rest. We'd anchored. It was the first time that we'd anchored, and that went really well.
Yeah.
And it was a nice anchorage, but it was really, really rough. So
it was rolly. It wasn't rough. It was just rolly.
Really, really rolly. Where we thought that it was going to be more protected, and it wasn't. So that's fine. You've got to deal with that. But it also stopped us from being able to get onto the tender and get onto the beach. So we were just on the boat for 4 days at that point, because we'd been including
the sail,
including Edithborough and then the sail, and then we'd been there for 2 nights. So this is going on to our 4th or 5th day where we just hadn't been off the boat. There had been no sun since about an hour after we'd gotten into West Cape, and our battery was down to about 9% or 7 or 9%, I can't remember, because there had been no sun.
So, a little bit of context, I installed a DC-DC battery charger, which should do that job, but the wire that was triggering it I had a few issues with, which is what you see me testing before, to ensure that it turns off when it is meant to turn off. I got that sorted, and so the DC-DC battery charger was operating the way it was meant to operate. So then we thought it was safe to turn the engine on.
Which means if you turn the engine on like your car, that the battery will charge as the engine is running. So you're using diesel, but we have plenty of fuel. And that will charge the battery. So we ran the water maker for about an hour. We were running the engine, but the battery wasn't filling, was it? We were running the engine, and the starter battery is supposed to charge the other batteries. Yeah?
Yeah.
When that wasn't working, we turned everything off. We went, oh crap, it's not actually charging the batteries. So we turned off the engine. Fine, stopped everything, and then went to start our motor again. Of course, we don't have a mainsail, and so we have to sail motor. We went to go and start the engine, and it wouldn't start. So through trying to charge the batteries to get us some water, and to charge batteries and get us water, so we had water and power, we had stuffed up our starter battery to be able to start the boat to get out of West Cape, to get out of anywhere. We couldn't get to land because there was breaking waves on the beach that were really dangerous, and we couldn't take the tender out to get onto the beach. We didn't have any phone reception because we were in this protective cape, and both of our phones were down to about 20% and 10% respectively, and it just felt really crushing when that starter battery wouldn't start, because we just kept on problem solving. And this, it doesn't sound like much in kind of hindsight and in retelling, but at the time when we were there, and we didn't grab a camera and there was a lot going on, like we're new to this life, and so getting a camera and recording what's going on and how we're feeling isn't natural. We're just been here for the jokes and the cooking and the montages so far. But on that day when we'd been off of land for 5 days and we were running short of water, we didn't have battery, we didn't have reception, we couldn't get to shore, and our starter motor wasn't working to be able to leave, it just felt so crushing. In the middle of that, in a rare moment of reception, your phone dinged, you got an email, and it was from the guy saying that the part for the mainsail was going to take 3 weeks to come in from Sweden, and so we were scared about missing our weather window. So all of this just happened in the space of like an hour, but it was a build-up of the last month of just pushing and pushing and pushing, and we just really got to the point where it was questioning, should we be doing this?
It felt so bad. It was
just in the moment, the isolation.
All my confidence was ebbing away. Every single thing that went wrong, it just felt like West Cape was our crucible, and it was like every single thing just slowly sapped away any confidence that I built up over the last 6, 12, 18 months with this boat, and how to operate it, and all the courses that I've done in, I've got my Yachtmaster Theory certificate, like all that stuff, and then it's the experiences. But in hindsight, looking back at it, and I think hindsight's going to be a beautiful thing, we did problem solve that. We did solve that solution, and we did get through that scenario.
Fixed it, got the starter motor to run. We didn't have any power, was still power scant for the rest of the day, so just we're living off the grid, which is fine. We could cook, we had water, we could eat, and that we knew that we could leave the next day, so it was all fine. But it was just that moment of the culmination of all of those things happening to go, you shouldn't be doing this. Is this what we should really be doing? Has all of this work been for nothing? Or just to come to this point, which was an impasse? But we left and we left for Lincoln the next day, and things have turned around. But I think West Cape will be one for the books. That'll be a bookmark for sure.
Next week, things start to turn around as we make our way west across to the Eyre Peninsula. I get a little bit more experience on the deck, and things start to feel a little bit more calm in Port Lincoln. Thank you so much for watching. Please click the thumb, subscribe, say some nice things and share with your friends. And we'll see you next time on Never Not Sailing.
The piece of my heart moves slow, somewhere in the greater